Hey everybody, here we are today with Jennifer Nickerson, manager of the Business Center Nipissing Parry Sound. Jen, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Paul?
Excellent. Thanks so much for hopping on. I greatly appreciate it. I think a lot of business owners really will appreciate this interview. I think you guys are that one-stop resource for entrepreneurs and business owners, and you provide a ton of value to them. So I've got a few questions I'd like to go through with you, if that's okay.
Sure, absolutely.
So in my thoughts, the Business Center is really the supporter of small and startup businesses. Right now, how are your clients doing during COVID?
So I guess right now we kind of have two types of clients. One is the people who are just planning their venture. So they may have not even started yet. So what's happened now is basically they kind of have more time to plan.
Yeah.
So maybe they're spending a little bit more time on their business plan, taking advantage of some of the free training opportunities that are out there. Probably reassessing their timeline a little bit. So maybe when they were planning on launching might have shifted, or their method of service or delivery, that type of thing. So just sort of reassessing that. And then on the other side, we have the clients who are new. Basically, we work with businesses in their first through 5 years. So those ones that have started to generate revenue, a lot of them are actually still operating, which is great, but they've probably adjusted their services somewhat. Hopefully they've been able to take advantage of some of the provincial or federal programs out there. There's been a couple key changes that were made, like the emergency response benefit, where they added you could earn up to $1,000 a month. So that was a little bit helpful for our new businesses as well. A lot of those businesses are taking advantages of the CFDC NICO in town, so applying for funding through them, that organization. And then just really trying to support each other. There's so much of this support local, these movements going on. So especially for these brand new businesses, that's, really relevant and important right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's overwhelming for these new businesses when they try to figure out, well, where's the funding? Where's the grants? Where should I go to? So really, you're that first stop that can really send them down a path. So it's great having that service there.
Thanks. Yeah.
Plus, you're always doing, workshops and webinars. I was on a webinar yesterday that you had Penny Tremblay on from Tremblay Leadership Center. That was awesome. Mm-hmm. I was so glad to be part of that. She's spectacular. So that's another great thing that you guys put on. Is there any new businesses out there, during a time like this? Like, are you seeing anybody opening up anything like cleaning companies or anything like that?
I'd say most of the businesses that come through our door are pretty, we'll call them mainstream and Main Street type businesses. Okay. And actually I've done a few master business licenses over the phone and that type of thing. So people are still operating. It's not so much that it's a new business, but they've shifted how they're operating or what their products or services are. Kind of to meet the needs. So the obvious ones are some of them are shifting to e-commerce, or they're doing product delivery, or, no-touch payment processing and that type of thing. So it's more of a shift of how they're doing the business. But the really cool thing about that is what it's done is it's opened up new target markets for these businesses. So, businesses always have to think about where is my customer? Where am I meeting my customer? And traditionally, maybe they were meeting them, I don't know, because they put a flyer up at the local grocery store. But now they're meeting them in different places, and that's opening up new markets for them, I think.
That's interesting. Yeah, there's lots of change happening for sure, and a lot of businesses pivoting. They have no choice. I've seen 2 or 3 businesses locally that have kind of halted production of what they were currently doing and swung it over to PPE gear, like Julie Gom from the Bug Shirt Company in Powassan, Hillcrest Cabinets, Levine's Canvas. Like there's 3 local companies that have just almost instantly pivoted a part of their production, in these
Right.
changing times. So that's nice to see.
And I think those are all businesses that, they can pivot and they have customers today, but their original business is a sustainable business to begin with. So when they shift back, they still have customers.
Yeah.
Hillcrest did our starter company program, and we were, delighted that they were able to shift gears a little bit and offer something new. And then they'll go back to their crazy busy cabinet making days too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Two smart guys. We did an interview a few weeks back and super
Yeah,
impressed.
so,
Great business. So yeah, it's nice to see that they came from you guys as well. So
yeah.
how has this changed your day-to-day operations at your place?
So we've been really fortunate at the Business Center that we're still be able to offer all of our programs and services virtually for the most part. Our staff is working from home. I pop into the office once in a while. We're still meeting as a team. I meet weekly with so there's about 50 small business centers across Ontario. So we meet on a weekly basis. I meet with my northern counterparts. There's 7 of us. Regional funders groups, ecosystem groups. We're all kind of meeting and talking about what everybody is doing and able to offer. Specifically, we still are offering our summer company program. So that's the program for students between the ages of 15 and 29 who want to operate a business over the summer. They get a $3,000 grant. And we also do some training and mentorship with them throughout the summer. So that program's still open, still taking applications, and we have accepted some people.
Okay.
Our Starter Company Plus program is still going on. So that's our program for people opening a full-time year-round business. Similar to Summer Company, there's training, mentorship involved, and you can do a pitch for up to a $5,000 grant.
Wow.
We've got an intake running right now with, I believe, about 11 people in it. And then we're going to be having another intake in the fall. And what we're going to do is we're going to shift the focus a little bit for that intake on sort of try to meet the needs of those businesses that have been affected by the COVID situation as well. So a little bit of a recovery readiness type focus to that program as well.
That's awesome. And before we started recording, I kind of thought, and we were talking a little bit about the North Bay Chamber of Commerce, and I thought maybe it was like you guys were competitors, but that's not the case. Can you explain that relationship?
Mm-hmm. We have a wonderful relationship with Peter, Patty, Sue, and everybody at the Chamber. Because we're kind of you're thinking about starting a business, where do I go? So that's where we come in. So come see us at the Business Center. We can sit down with you, have a consultation, talk a little bit about the viability of your idea, whether you're ready for this kind of thing, do some business planning, what professional supports do you need? Are there programs, are there training out there? What kind of funding do you need? And all that kind of, those pieces. Get the businesses started. And then once they're started and operating, they can then be part of the Chamber and join the Chamber. Gotcha. In turn, what happens is a lot of the Chamber members are presenters for our new businesses. They're mentors for our new businesses. So we've got quite a back and forth arrangement. Patty sits on our Starter Company Plus grant committee and has right from the get-go. So she sat in on, we counted, 100 and something pitches that we've done. So it's an important relationship that we have with the Chamber.
That's awesome. I mean, the value that you guys bring, coupled with the Chamber, can really set a new business on the right path, especially in those first 5 or 6 years, those critical years. So
Absolutely.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So with some of the extra time some people might have, and these, let's say, are business owners, how would you suggest they prep for the other side of this virus? Any thoughts to that?
Yeah, I think, right now for a lot of people, they're, if they've got some downtime, there's so much great free stuff happening out there right now. So, can you take advantage of some additional training? Maybe there's some certification that you've been wanting to do that will allow you to augment your services or something like that. Another thing, I think during this time, it's a great time to take advantage of building partnerships and collaborating with people and looking at potential collaborations that might help you grow your client base. It's a good time to revisit your business plan, or half of you are going to say, I don't have a business plan, so perhaps write a business plan.
Right.
We're working on a sort of a continuity business plan right now, a template for that. So that's something that we'll be able to add to our services soon as well. The other thing I would say is spend this time, go talk to your accountants. Make sure that you understand, if you're doing all these programs or applying for different things, what are those tax implications? Or how is this going to affect my cash flow? So if I'm deferring payments on such and such, what is this going to look like for my cash flow come September or October? So I think that's an important conversation for businesses to have right now.
Good point. So do you see a lot of businesses come in with no business plan, just a thought or just an idea? What does that look like? You must see a lot of that.
Absolutely. It's interesting.
Yeah.
We've seen it all, heard it all. I would say 99% of the people that come through our door have no plan per se.
Wow.
They have lots of great ideas. Don't get me wrong, lots of great ideas, and they've got lots going on in their head. It just hasn't been, put on paper or really, thought out in terms of, what do the components of my marketing strategy, or what does my cash flow look like? So,
right. Very interesting. Yeah, I would suspect there's a lot of great ideas. Friday nights, people having beers, thinking of this, thinking of that. But when they arrive, they probably don't have that business plan etched out just yet. So this is really awesome. This is really interesting. I didn't realize the depth of all the information that you guys provided. So thank you so much for hopping on. I greatly appreciate it. Any parting thoughts to this?
I just want to say, in terms of new businesses, sort of stemming out of this situation right now, I think what's happening is this whole situation is just making people much more aware. You're aware of everything. You're aware of how many times you go to the grocery store, how you're spending your time with your family, who's your next door neighbor. And awareness kind of gives you a shift in your mindset. And when you shift your mindset, that's where new ideas come from. So I think you're gonna see a lot of new creative businesses arise from the ashes of this COVID situation. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see these crazy ideas that walk through our door.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more in this cleaning area. Where businesses are really going to have to step it up to keep things clean and sanitized, and the public just may hold them more accountable as well.
Absolutely. I agree. Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, thank you so much for hopping on. I greatly appreciate your time. I'll make sure I put the links to your Facebook page and your website and the phone number down below. We'll see you on the other side of this. And remember, tough times don't last, but tough people do. We'll get through this.
Absolutely.
Hopefully almost over.
Well, thank you so much, Paul. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Okay. Well, thank you. We'll talk again soon.
Okay. Have a good day.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.